This video will teach you how to solve for indeterminate forms through using the method of dividing by the highest power, specifically with irrationals. You can only use this method when x approaches positive or negative infinity, and when the indeterminate form is infinity over infinity. This method is the exact same as the one in the previous video, which was dividing by highest power for rationals, except this one has irrationals, as in roots. So there are a few extra steps that you need to take care of. As always, we will begin first with direct substitution to ensure that the form that we get is an indeterminate form of infinity over infinity. Just like before, we're going to be comparing degrees in the numerator and in the denominator. You need to be careful with this because while it might appear to be degree of 2, it's actually degree of 1 because it's under a square root, and 2 times 1/2 would give you the degree of 1. Since both degrees are degree 1, we will be dividing all of the terms by x. However, x can be rewritten in many ways. It can be written as the square root of x squared, which would also be the absolute value of x, which can be split up into its piecewise version. Since all the terms in the numerator are under a square root, we will want to use the square root of x squared version for our first x, so that this way we can just expand the square root and have all of the terms within the root over x squared. With this though, all negatives would disappear since x is being squared, but our limit's approaching negative infinity. So for the x that we're dividing our denominator by, we would need to take the negative x version of the piecewise of the absolute value x, so that our negatives would not disappear. Now we're going to rewrite the equation, dividing all of the terms in the numerator under a square root and over x squared. And then for all the terms in the denominator, we're going to divide them by negative x. From here, we can cancel some of the x's to simplify the equation. For our last term over x squared, remember the fact that allows us to simplify that, as we know that it approaches 0. So from there, we can solve. Now, try solving one on your own. If you need to, you can pause the video here to give yourself more time to solve. Ready? Okay, so as usual, first you need to do direct substitution to make sure that we get infinity over infinity. Now, take a look at the degrees to figure out what we're dividing by. In here, the degree is 1. Like before, we're going to divide the terms under the square root by x squared, but since this limit is only approaching infinity and not negative infinity, we can just divide the terms in the denominator by positive x. We can simplify 2 terms, and for the other 2 terms, we know from the fact that they both approach 0. So now all that's left is to solve. Did you get the right answer? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my last video on different methods for how to solve indeterminate forms.